are about to have the adventure of a flight time. When you're presented with a challenge, what's your first response? Do you attack it head on? Do you shy away? Or do you curl up in the fetal position and sit in the corner rocking, telling yourself it doesn't exist? I think for most of us, it depends on the emotional state. When we're confident and happy, we see a challenge as a new goal. If we're overwhelmed or depressed, we might find ourselves rocking in the corner. Some of us, though, despite how we are feeling, always press into the challenge. Welcome back for part 3. This is my third plane. I doubled up the foam on the inside to keep the tail from folding. I put cross members in every few inches to add to the rigidity, and I glued together so many squares of foam board for the nose section that it's basically solid foam. The wings are made of a heavy-duty foam board from Walmart, which was about $3 a sheet, and after spending a small fortune on props, I added some premium landing gear.
Prop came off. I guess it wasn't tight enough. So let's fix that.
This is a testament to, if I build a plane strong enough, it might last long enough for me to learn how to fly it. And so it did. It doesn't hurt quite as much to watch it leave the air in a semi-planned manner. I graduated from crashing to crash landing.
Not quite.
Something I noticed about this plane is that it likes to go fast. In the beginning, I was scared to fly a plane too fast because it seemed like it would just go out of control too quickly. But after some time, I learned the planes actually are a little bit more stable at speed. Maybe the wings on this one are a little too small for the amount of weight I added, trying to strengthen it, which is very possible. It seems to drop a wing pretty easily when you slow it down. From my research, that would suggest that the wing is stalling. I'm contemplating building a new wing for it in order to see how it would behave differently, but that's a lot of work, and I mean, this one does fly. If you want to get into the hobby of RC flight, I strongly recommend getting a flight simulator. But if you're like me, and you can't justify spending $100 on a computer software, but you can justify spending multiple hundreds of dollars on foam board and electronics, don't do it the way I did it. There's a link in the description for the plans of a plane that is tried and true. It's made out of foam board, and it's from Flight Test. It's called the FT Flyer. There's also a build video on how to put the thing together. This plane is so much easier to fly, and in the process of my journey, I built one. It really opened up the possibilities of how quickly you can progress in the hobby. It took me a lot longer to learn to fly, and I caused myself a lot more frustration than was necessary because I couldn't figure out why I was such a bad pilot. I wasn't, really. I mean, really, I was, but I didn't know what to do about it because my first plane was actually unflyable. Just start with something flyable, and once you get to know that you actually remember which directions make the plane go which way, you can become the aerospace engineer you always wanted to be. I'm going to swap out the battery. I'm pretty sure this one's got to be toast. It's a 2200, which is the biggest battery I've ever put in this. Not that I have a lot of batteries. So normally I'm running a 1400 3S. This is a 22. But this plane gives me the stress. Holy smokes. One more. Whoops, shouldn't have said that. I saw something wrong. All right, let's try this again. Scale takeoff. That's
It's so much fun. Wow, that was a little steep, but we did it. So there aren't many things that I did really well on this plane, but one of the things I did well is the battery hatch. It's a skewer, and then the top flips up. It's so easy to get into. The plane sits there, you're not like trying to fiddle with getting under it or in the front of it. Like a lot of the flight test planes have that power pod that slides in the front, which is not a bad design, especially structurally, but sliding it in and out, wires tend to get caught and stuff. There's no wires that go to this thing on top. Maybe I'll do that more with my planes.
Flying is something special. It's joy. It's overcoming. It's disappointment. It's definitely an emotional roller coaster. What I know is, when it comes to flying, it inevitably will teach you something about yourself you didn't know was there. Like, you can overcome. You can put blood, sweat, and tears into something only to watch it fall out of the sky and become a pile of garbage. Regroup and go do it again. I will say this. Find a friend who will learn to fly with you so you don't have to go through the lows all by yourself. The highs are always worth the lows, no matter how low they are.